So I'm feeling very forgiving today. Talked to my dad yesterday for a while. And, I knew my grandmother was a nurse in the burn unit, but what I didn't know was that she also had a part-time job. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you're a workaholic. You're working a lot of hours. So my mother probably was neglected by her own mother. And then I know her father, from my mother's perspective, felt like he favored her brother because they did basketball together or something, I don't know. So, I mean, it makes sense that she was abused. So it makes sense she would feel like she needs a lot of attention and all this stuff, right? Be manipulative and controlling. And my grandmother, she was an orphan. I don't know her story as a child really, but I did work with foster kids for 10 years and I heard a lot of really fucking terrible stories. One of the girls told me her caregiver used to put her in the dryer and turn on the dryer. And this one training we were at, the teacher told us that there was like an infant who was raped by their caregiver. Abusers abuse, hurt people, you know? And it's not even these abusers' fault that they are the way they are, you know? Like, yes, we have a choice in how we behave and what we decide we want to do, but if you're not even like aware of what you're doing or any of that, like have the capacity, like I feel like as a child, I think I was highly narcissistic for sure. Definitely struggled with codependency. I felt like I had a lot of like borderline personality traits. I was like, do I have BPD? Am I bipolar? Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? No, I was abused. That's what was wrong. I was abused. And that's how my psyche responded to that abuse. And I remember my first marriage with the ISTJ, like I had major anger problems, like rage problems. Like it was so bad that we'd be playing a video game together. And then when I started losing, I would just have the biggest fit. Like, what the hell? I just had so much anger. Understandably, right? When you live with a narcissistic mother and an absent father, you're gonna have fucking issues. And I was in therapy when I was 17 is when I first went to therapy. It was my freshman year at college across the country, and I was really struggling. Oh, bird. Beautiful bird. Green. And then I couldn't take it anymore. I think it was May already, and I was just trying to hold on till the end of the fucking semester. But then the team qualified for World Series, and I was like, no, I can't keep doing this. And we were at practice, and I just started bursting out crying. Could not hold it in anymore. Like, I would never cry in front of anyone, ever. And so to just burst out crying, like, that was completely not me. But I had already been crying alone in my room for like several weeks. And me and this other girl, Sarah, which is funny, we had a resemblance. People thought we were twins, but I think she might have been an ESTP, I'm not sure. But we both were not feeling good. We both went to the school therapist person, and our coach, who I'm pretty sure was an ESTP, she was like, I'm really proud of you for going, and realizing you have a problem and whatever. But my mother had taught me, when you make a commitment, you stick it out. So never mind that I was depressed out of my mind and like wanting to fucking kill myself, right? I made a commitment, so I stuck it out to the end of the fucking season. Forgot why I told that story. But anyway, yeah. So eventually, I had my son, and when he was 1 year old, there was this point in time where he was sleeping and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. So I imagined how that all would play out. I imagined how traumatized he would be if I was no longer here, if he found me like the way Dexter was found in a puddle of blood. Yeah, not gonna do that to my kid. And so that was the day that I decided that's not an option. And I realized, like, I really have to work on myself and become better, and all this, like, I have to try. And I never stopped trying ever since. So anyway, my point is, when we're abused, it's not our fault. And the way that abuse plays out in our personality, that's not our fault. But it is our responsibility to be better. Just try to be better. Some of us are not going to have that awakening. A little tiny bunny. Little bunny. Some of us are not going to have that awareness. My mother doesn't have awareness. She doesn't. She's in Delulu land, like, all the time, which was fucking horrible for me because, I have a need for, like, truth and honesty, and she's just been fucking lying to me my whole life. But she's been lying to herself her whole life. So she may not ever change, ever. I've made peace with that. I don't owe her anything. Maybe I will show up when she's on her deathbed. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But, I'll continue to give her the basic respect as a human being. But giving her, like, love? No. No, I'm not gonna do that. Because I care about myself. And she gives me the fucking creeps. Like, I'm going for a walk this morning at like 6 a.m. Like, oh, it's a good time to go for a walk. So I'm walking and I see her and I'm like, ooh, she's walking. Hope she doesn't see me. And then I like looked and then she like saw me. I was like, oh God, pretend I don't see her, keep going. And then she like turned to walk towards my direction. I was like, oh fuck. So I like ran my ass. I've not ran in a while. So, oh my God, I'm like out of shape. I ran for like, I don't know, 500 yards. Just so I wouldn't have to like, I don't know. I was just like, is she gonna try and follow me? I don't know. I don't want to be near her. But, anyway, so yeah, it's just, I don't know, this past week with the therapies I've been doing, all the work I've been doing on myself, I just feel forgiving. I just feel forgiving. Because when you understand it's not personal at all, like, it's not her fault she doesn't really love me. She doesn't even know what love is. Yeah, she did a fucking number on me. So did my father. my father at least is aware of that, and he's trying to make up for it. My mother, I've tried to talk to her before, like 10 years ago, again another 5 years later. She doesn't even have the capacity. She doesn't. She has a very weak mind, from my perspective. It's not her fault. And being that this is a simulation, whatever, like none of this is even real anyway, so we're all playing our roles. We are all playing our roles, and I actually do feel an appreciation for all my experiences, which is great. It took a long time to get here, because, you know, if she hadn't been the way she is, and my father hadn't been the way he is, I wouldn't have had that journey through FI. I wouldn't have had that journey. I wouldn't have had all the other experiences I had as a butterfly effect, and I'm pretty awesome. I mean, I'm very happy with who I am, and I will continue to work on my own growth. I've healed so much, and I know I still have more to go. Probably till the day I die. Like, I'm still pretty terrified of like a real relationship. Oh, he was eating. Bunny. Hi. Hey, cutie. I've seen like 6 monies so far. Yeah, so yeah, we are all free to do what we want, forgive or not forgive. It is up to you. Really, the forgiveness feels good in my heart, and I think that is an act of love I gave myself. I do feel lighter. I really do, because it all went back to her. That was the beginning of it all. So yeah. Morning. Morning. Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I want with my life? What am I passionate about? I definitely feel passionate about my son and making sure that he's living his best life, making sure that he's thriving. It's like I spent so long like with the codependency and like believing that I needed someone else to complete me, and I don't. No, I just need myself. I'm complete. I'm complete on my own. That feels really good. Feels really, really good. It feels good to be able to trust in the process. Oh my God. It feels great to just be able to let go and not feel anxious. It's great. So yeah, I've tried like so many different things to help myself. Fasting and juicing and electromagnetic therapy from the Brain Treatment Center. Psychedelics, obviously. Enneagram coaching. Obviously, I had coaching from C.S. Joseph a few times. That helped. Meditation, exercise, sleep, you know, everything, because it's all connected, really. Mind, body, spirit, soul. So, yeah, and working part-time, that's been wonderful for me, because it's given me the energy and time to really focus on myself. And I'm not planning on changing that, that's for sure. No way. I want to live. I don't want to work. If I work, I want it to be because, like, that's truly what I want to do with my time. But no, I really want to pour into myself. It's really what I want to do, and my son. So I feel like having, you know, the big house and the fancy car and all that crap, that's not valuable. It's not. It is not. The relationship with myself is valuable. The relationship I build with others is valuable. Feeling connected and my health, love, respect, freedom, peace, joy, those things are valuable. And there was a point in time where I had no idea, like, that I just felt so hopeless and helpless, like, didn't see a way out. But there is a way out. All of us have a way out. And just keep learning, keep finding teachers out there to learn from. Keep getting rid of toxic people, get rid of the toxic job. Minimize your life if you have to, you know? Like, anyway, I really just want the best for everyone. I want everyone to experience joy and peace and happiness and joy. Did I say that already? Joy. And excitement, you know? The world can be so beautiful and exciting. And if we all raise our vibrational frequency to those levels, you know, living out of love, try to enlighten ourselves, we can get ourselves to a timeline that's way different from the narcissistic timeline. You know, we're going to be tested. We're going to keep getting tested. We just have to pass those tests while keeping a high vibrational, either neutral or positive attitude, but not like a fake positive, not like a toxic positive, like really joy, you know, like appreciating the experience is a way to do that. Like, I saw my mother this morning and I was like, oh shit, let's run. So instead of being like mad about it, I was like, well, here's a reason for me to run. Oh boy, I'm out of shape. You know, I kept my vibration high. That's an example. And with everything in life, we can do that. It is a choice, you know? Yeah, even with things like when the ENTP like ghosted me, and I was like, fuck this shit, I choose myself. Like, I'm worthy of a response and all this stuff, and I chose myself. I kept my vibration high. And yeah, I cried a little bit, a few times, which is normal. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's normal. But still, I'm grateful. And I also felt relieved too, even when I was like, oh, I don't know if you're gonna come back. Inside, I was feeling like relieved. I was hoping he wouldn't come back. I really was. That just the old pattern of doing that, you know? But inside, it's like, no, come on, you don't really want this. So recognizing those patterns within yourself, being aware of them, then you can change them. So, yeah. And the more we like dedicate ourselves to changing it every single second of the day, you know, like it just becomes a lot easier. So all right, guess I will end it here. Bye.